So they finally got around to you. Who's next? The Coneheads or the Rainmakers? After all, slap a new coat of paint and you got Rainmakers. Do a little mod to the head, you got Seek and you got Coneheads. Consume mass quantities. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we've got another core class figure in the Legacy Evolution line. This is Thundercracker. First thing more, he should have his wings bent backward a bit. That looks better. And of course, as many of you would probably guess, he is a repaint of Starscream. Of course, for some reason, Hasbro's reissued Starscream in the Legacy Evolution line. He should be out about now, or will be soon, depending on when this video gets released. Now, for the benefit of those of you who haven't been around with us for a while, for a long time, or at all, Thundercracker is based on a Generation 1 character. Here's his original toy. Thundercracker is, of course, a Decepticon seeker. But, according to the lore, he is not a fanatical Decepticon. Thundercracker was basically an aimless drifter among the Transformers. He really didn't have a place in the universe, and was more or less just a depressed character. Megatron's passionate speeches gave him some hope and spurned on some feelings of superiority. So that gave him a cause to follow. However, Thundercracker soon learned that he really didn't like being a Decepticon. He didn't like the atrocities that he was forced to commit as a Decepticon. However, very rarely did Thundercracker ever really speak his mind. As it was shown frequently in the cartoon series that Starscream would label any sort of actions that were contrary to the Decepticon cause as a traitor and try to execute them on the spot. There was one episode where Starscream did catch Thundercracker fraternizing with Bumblebee and was quick to try to execute him. However, Thundercracker was able to get away, and Starscream was done in by his own incompetence. However, Thundercracker's fear of retaliation, especially from either Starscream or worse, Megatron, kept him quiet and basically as a loyal Decepticon. Spoiler alert, in the 1986 animated film, Thundercracker would be one of the Decepticons that was severely wounded in battle and would be cast out in space to die. He would be found by Unicron and would be reformatted, ironically, into the fanatical Decepticon known as Scourge. So, all in all, Thundercracker is a rather complicated character. But not anywhere near as complicated as trying to find all the pieces for the G1 version. Alright, let's take a look at Thundercracker's accessories, and he only came with 2. Like Starscream, he comes with 2 guns. So that's further proof he's definitely a repaint to Starscream. He's got a different head, at least, slightly. But I think it still looks the same. I don't have Starscream handy to look at, but it's basically the same thing with Skywarp. They're just the same body repainted. But at least Thundercracker came with the proper guns, whereas Skywarp came with some other weird accessory. But you could buy aftermarket guns for Skywarp to make him look more like he's supposed to. Now, of course, Thundercracker can keep his guns on his shoulders like was done in the classic cartoon. Or if you want, you can put his guns in his hands. Whatever floats your boat. So we'll get that gun out of the way so we can manipulate him here. Articulation-wise, he has about what you would expect. You can turn the head from side to side on a core class figure. It's not on a ball joint, so it can't look up and down any. It's also a pain to turn when you got fat fingers and these protrusions on his shoulders. You can raise his arms out to the side, about so far. And if the wings are folded back all the way, it will rotate at the shoulder all the way around. It'll have to come out slightly to get away from the hinge. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. And while mine's a little bit stiff, there we go, he does have articulation there at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe battle grip. He can be twisted a bit at his hip. He cannot be twisted at the hip, so this version of Thundercracker has no dance moves. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He has a very nearly non-existent thigh cut. You can raise his leg up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, about the kind of articulation you'd expect. It's pretty good that we're getting some more of these guys. We had the Ark and Kingdom, but we're going to get the Nemesis this year as well. So having some figures that are sort of scaled to it will be nice. Of course, if you've been with us for quite a while, you'll know Hasbro's been favoring the Decepticons over the Autobots. Alright, let's transform Thundercracker. And of course, you can keep his accessories on if you keep them in the shoulders. If not, take them out of his hands and put them in his shoulders. The first thing we do is we've got to open up his chest area. Which is easier done by gripping onto his shoulders a bit. There was a way to do it that was easy. Trying to do it without breaking too much of my fingernails off. There we go. Got it moving. Open up his chest. Like so. And also fold the wings back while you're at it. So that'll keep everything out of the way. Fold the section that's got his head down like that. Then you reach back here to his back and you can fold up the nose cone of the plane. Just kind of get it in down here out of the way. So then we'll come back here to the to his side. We're going to fold his legs down a bit. That's mainly so that we have the clearance to rotate the wing section of his back all the way around. Once you've done that, come down here to his legs and press his legs together. And then you're going to bring the legs up and attach them to the wings like so. Then we can come up here to the front. Get the cockpit section all connected up. So this should loosen up a little bit. We want, while you've got it there, to rotate the head so that it'll look inside, and then bring it up so it'll support the cockpit, like so. Then once you've done that, you can come back here and fold the chest pieces back in so that closes that off. Knock the gun free. That kind of shift the thing so that you can turn the arms so that they face, so their thumbs would face the body. Because then once you bring the wings down, you'll see in here the wing has a little slot, open hole in it, and it should connect to the post on the back of the fists. Take the gun out so it's out of my way. Getting Thundercracker lined up to connect everything is a bit of a chore. There we go, got that in. Now we got that picked up, we can reattach the guns that we knocked off. Like that, and we come back here, raise up the black fins. Come on. There we go. Snap them into place, and then fold down the side ones. And then there we have it. Thundercracker in his jet form. He's based to be sort of resembling an F-15 Eagle, which is what the original toy was based on. Back when Hasbro and Takara could get licenses relatively easily and cheaply. And in case you're wondering, not only does he fall out of your hand very easily, Thundercracker does swoosh pretty nicely. Which is the important thing out of a plain toy. Getting down to my thoughts, what do I think of this Thundercracker? Well, just like with Starscream and Skywarp that came before him, I enjoy having these little core class figures. It's been nice to see them doing some out of classic characters, because it allows them to be brought back into the mainstream, and they're also relatively cheaper to buy. And with, let's face it, with everything going up these days, being able to afford a lot of these things is a chore. So, it was also a gimme that eventually we would get Thundercracker, because if they had done Starscream and Skywarp, Thundercracker was a gimme. But like Larry pointed out, who's going to be next? Are they going to do the Rainmakers or the Conehead Seekers? Since invariably, due to the cheapness of how these guys can be made, it's almost a gimme. Some of them will likely be in the pipeline. At any rate, that's my review of the Legacy Evolution version of Thundercracker. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content we feature here on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.